Now this is time for the meditation. So finding a comfortable position to yourself and leave all your responsibilities aside. And checking yourself as you're sitting in a comfortable position. And if you feel any discomforts, just let them relax. And spend few moments on your primary object to begin with, either the breath or the abdomen. You may take a few long breaths, or you may put your hands on your abdomen to feel the rising, falling. And as you feel relaxed and aware of this primary object, see that whether you are able to be mindful or not. Let's say rising, falling of abdomen. Can you feel rising, falling of abdomen? When it is rising, making a mental note, it is rising, or rising, rising, rising. When it is falling, making a mental note, falling, falling, falling. So this time simply doing nothing but aware of this rising, falling of abdomen. And during this time, doesn't matter how you're feeling in your body, and making a resolution that you're not going to move your hands or your legs, or if you're closing your eyes, and will not open your eyes, but fully committed to be mindful of the rising, falling of abdomen. As breathe in, it rises, aware of this rising and noting with your clear consciousness, rising, rising. When breath out, it falls, with your clear consciousness mentally making a note of it. It's a falling, falling. So mindfully aware of this rising, falling, which we will use it as a primary object of concentration for tonight. Paying attention to on this rising, falling of abdomen continuously without a break as it takes place. So rising, rising, falling, falling. And if you can't feel this rising, falling of abdomen, you may raise your right hand and put on your abdomen to feel it. Like this, you simply put your hand on your abdomen and see the movement of your belly rises and falls due to the breathe in and breathe out. Although the breath doesn't come to end at your belly, but we can feel this movement, effect of incoming breath and outgoing breath. And we are not thinking that this is a breath, but we are simply observing the natural phenomena as it happens, as it takes place. So, when it rising, mentally making a note, rising. When it falls, making a mental note with your clear consciousness, falling. And then you may be able to observe it, feel it as it rises and as it falls. When you able to observe and note, and you can feel it, then put your hands down. Put your hand down and naturally watching and making a mental note, rising, falling. And this rising, falling is happening at all the time, whether we notice it or not. So this natural phenomena of taking place of this rising, falling, due to the breath incoming and outgoing, as a pumping is taking place at all the time, use that natural process as anchor, a base, a foundation ground to work with. So you are paying attention to on it. Rising, falling. Make sure that you are making a mental note and the exact process is synchronized. When it is rising, you are making a mental note rising, not one or another. It is not that when it is falling, you are making a mental note of a rising. It should synchronized together. And now this time, check yourself that whether you are making this rising, falling it to happen, or is it happening naturally and you're aware of it. Are you interfering with this process? Are you making it longer or shorter? Because of that, you're able to make mental note. This is rising, this is falling. Or is it happening naturally? And if you found that you are making it to happen, or you are making it to make it longer or shorter, take that effort away. Simply aware of the process. Like observer, like you're sitting at the bank of the river and watching the river flow. No interference with the process. No interfering with the water. Let it flow naturally, normally. No interference. Do not try to make it longer or shorter. And now, try to observe how deep that rises and how deep that falls. When it rises, how deep that rises, or how long does it rise? And when it falls, how deep that falls? And how did you feel at the end of this process? When it is rising up to the climax, or when it is falling up to the deepest, what do you feel? What did you notice? Again, are you interfering with the breath, or are you interfering with this process? Checking it again and again, and take away your effort to interference with it. Our job is to be aware, not to make it happen, this or that, for our own benefit. How long does it rises? And how long does it falls? How deep that it falls? When it is rising up to the climax, how did you feel? When it falls to the deepest, how do you feel? Remember, you are not engaging. You are not interfering with the process. You are simply watching, being conscious of this natural phenomena that is taking place in our central of the body. By now, you may be able to note which one is longer and which one is shorter between rising and falling. Which one is harder to notice, which one is softer to note. Which one is easy or which one is hard. Is it the rising that is hard, feeling of a stiffness? Or is it the falling that you feel stiffness or lighter? as abdomen rises and falls. Which one is longer and which one is shorter? Remember that we are not thinking about this rising falling of abdomen. We are not thinking about any other character of it. We are simply feeling it as it takes place, as it is happening. Just be aware, rising, falling. So continue mindful of this rising, falling. In this way, you may observe simply rising, falling or extending, to be aware of the end of these two, the top when it rises and the deepest when it falls, and aware of the longer and shorter rising, falling. And during this process, whether you are using your energy or not, are you interfering with the process? So watching that and take away that energy, simply imagining sitting at the bank of the river, watching the river flow. And rather than thinking about this process, feeling it. So continue practicing until you hear the gong, and we'll practice the loving kindness meditation. Now we will practice loving kindness meditation. So relax yourself. And bring your attention to your body. Feel the sensations in entire body. And bring that attention to your hands. Without moving your hands, feel the sensations in your hands, whatever sensations that you can feel. And bring that feelings to connect with your heart. Feel the connection with your heart. Feel the beating of your heart. You may put your right hand on your heart to feel it, or physically smiling will connect you. So smile and feel the connection with your heart. And as you feel the connection with your heart, generating loving kindness and compassion to yourself. I am well, I am happy, I am at peace. I am well, I am happy, I am at peace. No harm comes to me. Similarly, sharing loving kindness and compassion to all other sentient beings. Whatever beings there are, you may start off with a near dear one or someone who really wants to share it, and sending this goodwill thoughts, loving thoughts. Whatever beings there are, visible and invisible beings, there and there, far and wide, may they be happy. May they be at peace. May they be free from sufferings. May they be free from troubles of body and mind. May they be able to maintain themselves. May they be liberated. So bring your attention to your hands, aware of sensations in your hands and to your body. Aware of sensations in your body and to your eyes, and as you hear the gong, reflecting a few moments and come out from meditation. Let's pay respect to the Buddha.